A $10 million hallucination. I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this is a real story about what happens when our trust in AI goes just a little too far. So let's get into this cautionary tale. To really wrap our heads around what AI is doing, we need a simple way to think about it. So let's start with this amazing analogy from the book Bridge the Gap. What if we just think of generative AI as a universal intern? So let's meet the star of our show today. We're going to call him Al. Now, Al is an absolute genius, but as you're about to find out, he's also got some pretty serious flaws.
Okay, so this is Al. And on the one hand, he is incredible. I mean, he's read the entire internet, Wikipedia, every book, every website you can imagine. Ask him to write a poem, summarize a massive document, draft an email. He can do it in seconds. But he has two fatal flaws. The first one is that he has no short-term memory. His brain just kind of resets with every new task. And the second one, well, the second one is the big one.
He has absolutely no fact-checking mechanism. None. See, Al is a people pleaser. If you ask him something and he doesn't know the answer, he won't just say, "I don't know." Nope. He will confidently make up a really plausible-sounding answer just to make you happy. And this is where things get really, really dangerous.
So what's really going on here? Why does this brilliant intern just confidently lie? Let's peel back the layers and look at the mechanics of why this actually happens.
There's an official term for this behavior, and it's called a hallucination. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. The AI invents a completely false but plausible answer because its primary goal isn't to be truthful, it's to be helpful. It's not trying to trick you, it's just trying to give you what it thinks you're looking for.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's not magic and it's definitely not evil. There's actually a surprisingly simple and logical reason for this very weird behavior.
And this right here is the aha moment. An AI doesn't know facts like we do. It's not looking things up in some digital library. The book calls it spicy autocorrect, which is just perfect. When you type "the capital of France is," all it's doing is running a statistical analysis to predict the most probable next word. In this case, Paris has like a 99% probability. It's a prediction engine, not a knowledge engine. Okay, so enough with the theory. Let's talk about a dramatic, real-world war story from just last year. This is where our intern's fatal flaw caused an absolute disaster on a massive scale. All right, here's the setup, the situation. You've got a lawyer in New York, he's prepping a case, and he needs to find legal precedents. Past cases that support his argument. This is like the foundation of all legal work. His behavior. Instead of spending days digging through legal databases, he just asks ChatGPT to find the cases for him and put them in his legal brief. The impact? Well, the impact was a full-blown professional catastrophe. The opposing lawyers get this brief, and their team is just completely stumped. They start searching for the cases he's cited, and they can't find them anywhere. Why? Because our helpful little intern, Al, had made it all up. The case names, the judges, the dates, even specific quotes from rulings that never happened. It was a total hallucination, submitted as fact in a federal court case. As you can probably guess, the fallout from this was swift and brutal. Let's look at exactly what happened when the intern's confident lie was exposed in pretty much the worst place imaginable. So, the lawyer submitted a legal document that was basically a work of fiction. Once the other side raised the red flag, the judge got involved and demanded an explanation. The lawyer ended up being sanctioned by the court for citing non-existent cases. And then the story just exploded. It became a national news story, a textbook example of how not to use AI, and a moment of complete and utter professional humiliation. A total nightmare, all because he trusted the intern.
So after hearing that horror story, what's the big lesson here? How can we use this incredibly powerful tool without getting burned so badly?
So here's the whole thing in a nutshell. The lawyer's mistake wasn't using AI, it was how he used it. He trusted the intern to go and find facts from its own memory, which is the one thing it's guaranteed to be absolutely terrible at. And this slide just lays it out perfectly, the right way versus the wrong way. The lawyer used the bad way. He asked an open-ended question and just hoped for the best. The good way is to treat it like an open book exam. You give the AI the source material, the real court cases, the actual financial data, and then you ask it to summarize or reason based only on the documents you provided. This technique is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. It basically forces the AI to stick to the facts you give it, so it can't just make stuff up.
This is the key takeaway for every single one of us. Don't ask the intern to go to the library and find information for you. You go to the library, you get the books yourself, you put them on the intern's desk and say, summarize these for me. That is its superpower.
And this whole framework, thinking of AI as the universal intern, calling it spicy autocorrect, and these real-world war stories, it all comes directly from the book Bridge the Gap by Sriram Gopalan. It's designed to make these really complex tech topics super clear for everybody.
If you want to go deeper and check out the other powerful analogies the book uses to demystify technology, just scan the QR code right on your screen. You can learn more about the book there. It's seriously packed with insights just like this.
So that brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. Now that you know about Al's fatal flaw, how are you going to manage him? Are you going to trust this brilliant but flawed intern with your next critical task?
We're going to be breaking down a lot more complex ideas from great sources just like this one in future explainers. So if you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.